What are crystals? What is crystal healing? In today's video, I'll be talking to you about the need to know important information about crystals and how to use crystals for your own healing. I'll also be sharing my own personal stories of my intimate relationship with the crystals, the mineral kingdom. So make sure you stay tuned. What are crystals? Now, I'm sure you've seen crystals somewhere, someone wearing them like your mom or your auntie. Maybe you've also given crystals to your girlfriend. But what exactly are they? Basically, crystals are minerals formed together to create a specific geometric shape. And so crystals are a part of the mineral kingdom. What's important to know here is that not all minerals are crystals, but all crystals are minerals. Imagine it like this. Crystals are like Legos. The Legos represent the tiny little atoms. And what you do with Legos, right, is you build with the Lego to create a house or a spaceship. So within a crystal is what is happening is these atoms are coming together to form a specific shape and a specific color, giving you a crystal. Another important thing here is crystals are not just part of the mineral kingdom, they're also part of the vibrational kingdom. Vibrational kingdom meaning frequency, resonance, and sound. And so because the atoms are forming a specific geometric shape, that geometric shape or the many geometric shapes within the crystal are creating a certain resonance and a certain vibration. And so this is why a lot of us believe that crystals have healing properties because of the vibration in which they resonate at. And if you have an understanding of the vibrational kingdom, that everything is vibration, everything is frequency, everything is sound, and basically we're just a whole bunch of particles that are resonating together that create matter, which eventually creates this skin and everything that we see around us. This is why crystals have such an important place within our world. And so, for example, the simple household rose quartz. Rose quartz vibrates at a frequency that's supportive and healing for the heart. And so it is a teacher, and it teaches you how to love yourself, how to step and sit in unconditional love. Another common household crystal is our clear quartz. And exactly as it sounds, it is a clear quartz. It is for clarity. And so the vibration of this crystal is to help create clarity, and it helps mitigate any density within our mental and emotional field so we can better focus. With the amethyst, another common household crystal is because of its color relates to our higher chakras because of our third eye and a crown, indigo and violet. So therefore, it allows you to tap into your intuition and your psychic abilities because that is the vibration in which this crystal resonates at. So crystals are yes part of the mineral kingdom because there are minerals that come together to form a geometric shape. But because of that geometric shaping and the many geometrical shapes within the crystal, it emits a certain frequency and a vibration that it holds. And so therefore we can work with crystals for healing purposes. One thing that a lot of people don't know is the spirits of the crystals. And so from what I was taught in my training with crystal healing is the spirits that live within the crystals that are the guardians of this mineral kingdom are called devas, spelled D-E-V-A-S. And they're like fairies. And so when we speak, communicate, build a relationship with the crystals, is each crystal has their own specific deva. And so how you can communicate with your crystals is speaking to the devas and asking the deva of the crystal for guidance. How do we work with our crystals? The most important aspects of working with our crystals is how to cleanse, how to clear, how to energize, and how to program our crystals. So, cleansing and clearing. Quite often, because our crystals are vibrational, they're energetic, they can also take on energy in the surrounding environment. So it's important to cleanse and clear our crystals. How do we cleanse and clear our crystals? There are many different ways. The top 3 ways is taking them to the ocean and bathing them within the ocean. If you're not close to the ocean, you can also bathe them in pure water. You can also say a prayer to the water, and then you can bathe the crystals in them. You can also bathe them in the moonlight or the sunlight. The moonlight and sunlight can also energize the crystals as well. You can also earth the crystals, put them in the plants to help cleanse and clear the energy. Another way is what you can do is you can energetically cleanse them with intention, is just waving your hands around them, over them, and just cleansing their energy that way. So those are a few techniques on how we can cleanse, clear, and energize our crystals. Energizing is we can work with the moon and the sun, and we can also send energy into the crystal. Now, programming. Quite often, a lot of people don't really know what programming is, and so when we get our crystal, is the most important part is we sit with the crystal, the deva, we take time with the crystal, and we program our intention. It's much more powerful and potent if you understand the energetic properties and the teaching of the crystal. Then you can use your intention of programming as well as its natural properties to come together to create this beautiful, vibrant, supportive relationship. And so you can program the crystals. For example, if I were to get a new crystal, I'm going to speak to the rose quartz, is I'll take time to sit with the crystal, to cleanse and clear the crystal, to energize, and then I'll program my intention. For me, it could be, in this moment, I could be programming the crystal with self-love. Self-love around body image. Self-love around vulnerability with speaking my voice, speaking my truth and sharing through my voice. And so I'll take the time to sit with that crystal and program that intention and send that intention into the crystal. Because they're part of the mineral kingdom and they have a geometric shape, what happens is our intention, our programming will get sent and programmed into the geometric shape of the crystal and the vibration, and that will be its purpose on how it will relate to you and how it will work with you. Programming is also really important when we work with crystal grids. So what is a crystal grid? Crystal grid is a certain number of crystals laid out in a specific shape, in a specific pattern. And the most important part with our crystal grids is we program each an individual crystal and we link them together kind of like a spider web or like a geometric shape. Or if you're familiar with the images of sacred geometries, basically that's what we do. We have our center point, which is called the generator crystal, and I'll get to that very shortly and what exactly a generator crystal is. We have our big generator crystal, and then we have all our supporting crystals. Usually it's about 2 to 3 layers, a number between 8 to 15. And how I program crystals is I have my generator crystal in the middle, and then I take time to draw with my intention, draw an imaginary connection, an invisible line between each crystal, and I go around to create that grid. So that is the most important part with programming, and the important part with grids is we have to program our crystal grids. Also know what you're programming the crystal grid with. Is, for me, quite often it's only for protection or for moving energy. And so when I place crystals down, when I work with them, it's always I acknowledge. It's like acknowledging each crystal. Thank you for your work. Thank you for being here. Acknowledging each deva, each spirit. Thank you for being here. This is how we're going to work together. It's like having a strategy meeting. A strategy meeting before you go into treatments, if you work with people. A strategy meeting before you want to set your space, before you want to invite people, before ceremony. And the strategy meeting is basically, hey, to all the crystals and the spirits, the devas, this is how we're going to work together. Great. Who needs to connect with who? Who needs to link with who? Perfect. Let's drop in together. And so this is the intention of programming and how we work with crystal grids. Generated crystals. What are they? Like I was sharing before and about the crystal grids, is the generated crystal is the one that's in the middle. The one that is holding and generating all the grids. The one that is holding and generating all the energy and the vibration together and holding. It's like a mother tree. And the mother tree, boom, and then there's all these trees that are supporting and being supported by the mother tree. This is basically what the generated crystal is. What I've noticed is a lot of people have all these big crystals but actually don't know what they're for. From what I was taught in my training of crystal healing is you have one generated crystal that is with you, and that is your teacher, and that is who you work with for the rest of your life. I'm very passionate about sharing about what exactly the generated crystal is and what exactly the master crystals are. The master crystals. And I will share specifically about my one too. So I want to share and I'm going to read off the laptop about the 12 different master crystals. So, 12 master crystals. What you have is a bridge crystal. You have a Tao quartz crystal. You have a Tao or trance channeling crystal. You have an Isis crystal. You have a Lemurian seed crystal. You have a manifestation crystal. You have a penetration quartz in a child crystal. You have a phantom quartz crystal. You have a record keeper crystal. You have a scepter quartz. And you also have a time link or timeline crystal. You have a trigonics crystal. And you have a twin or tantric crystal. And you have a window quartz crystal. I'll link the information into my description about all of those. There's quite a lot there. There's 12 of them. But I'm only going to speak to the one that I personally work with. So 12 master crystals. The specific crystal, master crystal that chooses you is what you are to work with, your teacher, your learning and your sharing of wisdom. And so, let me introduce you to my beautiful friend. I'm gonna do actually a B-cam footage of this. So, this is my generated crystal. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna show you a different video. And this is a phantom quartz crystal. And I'm gonna read out what the phantom quartz crystal is. And I'm gonna share with you an amazing story. A phantom crystal gives us an awareness of the universe and the cycles of life. They help us with inner growth for understanding and finding solutions to past issues in our lives. They are great for balancing and realigning the chakras. Using a white phantom crystal works well with the crown chakra and the higher realms. Also, with the phantom quartz crystal, it is also a direct link, kind of like a spaceship to the Akashic records. The specific master crystal that is for working with the Akashic record is called the record keeper. It obviously says it exactly in the name, the record keeper. What the phantom quartz crystal is, it has a phantom crystal within inside, like another crystal inside. My crystal's a little bit different, and I'm gonna tell you a story as to why. So this is my beautiful friend, and we've been working together for about 8 years now, and this is my only one. Now, how we met, it's an amazing story. How we met is it was in Sydney, it was in North Sydney, and I was going to do an interview with a crystal shop, and the interview process was to do a treatment and then have a conversation with the person who was managing the place. So I did the treatment, and she was so kind, and she offered me a gift voucher, and plus also offered me a staff discount. And it summed up to about like I got like a $180 of gift voucher and then like a 70% discount on the store. Now the store is was like a circular store, and it had like a middle platform and middle island with all the crystals, and you walk around in a circle. So I thought to myself, I said, oh, I may as well get a crystal since I'm here. And so I walk around. I pick up this crystal. I look at the price. It said $410. I was like, oh, not for me. I carry on walking. I walk around again. I pick up the exact same crystal. And I said, oh, it's the same one. Nope, not for me. And then I carry on walking, and I walk around and I do it again for the third time. And the third time I was like, ah, you are for me. And at the end of it, I only needed to pay $100, but down from a $410 from the gift voucher and the discount. So that's how we met. And what I learned from my training in crystal healing is that the master crystal chooses you. And so at that time of understanding what exactly the teaching of this crystal was, is like a spaceship to the Akashic Records. And so I started to learn about the Akashic Records and how to access that place and how to work from that place. I don't quite visit there anymore today. Now, another story with this beautiful crystal is, as you can see, there's a lot of cracks in there. It wasn't like that before. So fast forward to about like 2 years ago. So the story I just shared with you was about like 8 years ago. The story I'm about to share with you is about 2.5 years ago. I was living in Nicaragua, and this crystal was like my most prized, valuable possession. And during a ceremony with Mata Ayahuasca, this would have been like my 11th ceremony, and it was a bit of an initiation. The story gives context onto the next part. Basically, what the story was, the message from that ceremony was, Mata Ayahuasca was like, if you want to walk the path of healing and spirit, you have to open the door wide open. And like for me at that time, I only had the door cracked open so I could kind of filter the nice spirits that could come through. And basically what Mata Ayahuasca did was, during the ceremony, she opened the door right open. And what I was experiencing was the first time that I had such vivid, really detailed visions with my eyes open. Like everything was like so visual. It was wild. And basically the noise turned up, and I could hear all the whispers of the spirits that were residing in that area, because this ceremony was on the beach. I could see all these shadows just kind of blitzing past in my peripherals, and it was just so loud. And at that point of like experiencing it for like a couple hours, I just told Mata Ayahuasca, I was like, okay, I'm done. Can we put a pause on all of this and let me get back to you? Let me get back to you in like a week. Basically, the message of that is, if I want to walk the path of spirit, I have to also accept and work with those spirits that may be a bit dense, those spirits that may be trapped in the cycle of darkness. And so for me, in that ceremony, I was witnessing all the sadness, all the longingness, all the hurt, and all the pain, and everywhere. I could see it everywhere. Fast forward a week. I knew I was going to accept this invitation from Mata Ayahuasca, from Spirit. And throughout that week, I had been offered or invited to do my own initiation ceremony and offer up a whole bunch of offerings and do a fire ceremony. Basically what that was like a bit of food, a bit of my genetic liquid, both saliva and other stuff. What else? A letter. And then the one thing that I was experiencing, my intuition from Spirit, was offer up my most prized attachment, because I was very attached to this crystal. And I was like, really? And at the end of it, I did. So I created a little fire and I offered this crystal to the fire. And then I watched it starting to burn, and then, yeah, because of that, my intuition spirit, my ancestors were like, that's okay, now you can take him back. And she came back to me, but transformed. And so that is the story of why she looks like this. So this is my most we do so much beautiful work together. So that was a long story. I'm going to share a couple other crystals that I only work with specific crystals. And I'll share a video of it. These are my directional crystals. 1, 2, 3, 4. They represent northeast, southwest. And then these are my two brothers, my black tourmalines. And so with the two brothers, the black tourmalines, with my directional crystals and the sprig mother crystal, these are the crystals I use for all my treatments, to set a grid, to set a container. And these are the crystals I use for ceremony as well. And because I've worked with them so much, my programming process is quite easy. I can just place them and they know exactly what to do, because we've been doing the same thing over and over again. So those are my beautiful crystal friends, and a bit of my stories about my relationship with crystals. How do you build a relationship with crystals for your own healing? The invitation here is, what I was taught is, if you are attracted to a crystal because of its look, its color, its feeling, then that is your teacher. And so my invitation for you is, if you do have crystals already, have a look at them and then pick up the one that is drawing your attention and learn about it. For example, why our rose quartz, our amethyst, and our clear quartz are our most common household crystals is because these are the three things that need to be cultivated the most: love, our intuition, and our connection with the unseen, and having clarity. So how you build and work with the crystals, the devas, is simply going to your crystals and just choosing one and spending time with it. Keep it on your body the whole time. And if you're able to take journaling notes and or just mental notes of notice how you're feeling before, notice how you're feeling after. It's important also to be able to tune into whether or not it needs a bit of love as well. It needs to be energized, cleansed, or cleared, or grounded, so it can better serve you and work with you. So that is how you can work with crystals. So that's it, my whānau, my family. That is crystals. What are they? The most important parts about crystals that I wanted to share were crystal grids, the devas, and the master crystals, and to encourage you to do your own research about the crystals that you have already and how we can work with the crystals to help create a space of healing for ourselves and for others. And so to close this journey with you all today, I'll share karakia and a song. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, it would be amazing. I'm really enjoying sharing, to be honest. I'm really loving it. Yeah, well, my name is Cyrus. I don't think I said that. Yeah, I hope this encourages you to build a deeper relationship with your crystal babies and the devas. Oh, karakia, bringing your eyes to a close. Tēnei te ara o rangi e tūwake nei. Tēnei te ara o papa tōnaku e takato nei. Tēnei te ara o rangi e roa ko papa e takato nei. Kia raro te tapuwai o tāne ki raro tēnei tō pō. Nau mai te ao. Karangitia te ao e piri. Karangitia ko tāne e piri e tata. Whakamaua kia teina. Teina hainye huie. Tā iki e. This is the pathway of Father Sky above us. This is the pathway of Mother Earth below us. This is the pathway of Father Sky and Mother Earth before us. Allow the souls of Tani to settle into the path that leads us from dark to light. Beacon the light wisdom to embrace me. Beacon the bearer of light and wisdom. to embrace and to hold it is. Gather this one. Once again, whānau, make sure you subscribe. Gran Espíritu, gran abuelo, gran abuela, como soy me presento ante ti, como soy te pido bendiciones y agradezco del corazón que has puesto en mí. Cuando vengo, no más vengo, no más vengo. Gran Espíritu, sabrás a lo que vengo, a entregar mi corazón, mi corazón. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Corazón que es lo único que tengo. Thì hay